good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and here is the long-awaited advanced bow tutorial that I promised I was gonna put out. And if you're really relatively new to the bow, a lot of these tips can help you too, but this is mostly for like people who've been playing with the bow. But it probably can help you down the line, because all knowledge is good knowledge, because eventually you're gonna get to a point where you are hitting a barrier in your bow gameplay, and it's either two choices. You're either going to learn and try to get better, look at videos or whatever, or you're just going to drop it. But eventually you will get to this point where some of these tips may help you. So this could help pretty much anybody if you're interested in the bow, because I wish somebody would have told me these things. And subconsciously sometimes I do these mistakes that I'm finna list, and I don't want other bow players to make these same mistakes that I have made in my gameplay, because even at this level I'm playing at, I still make several mistakes because nobody is perfect. But overall, I think these can help anybody learning the bow, especially people who are intermediate and or advanced and a little bit of beginner. It doesn't really matter, but I think it can help you. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. It helps me a lot, and I really appreciate it, especially all the good comments you guys make, because y'all are dope as hell. And then some of y'all comments are like, wow, like I appreciate it. It's so nice and it's like cool. Yeah, it's dope. I love making these videos for y'all. But without further ado, let's go. Let's learn. All right, so the first thing I want to cover is your movement. I'm gonna just cover some bases off movement. First off, understand, so when you dash, right, dashing is a big part of the bow's movement. So when you're dashing, you need to understand that the left analog stick is going to decide where you're dashing. Right analog stick is going to decide where you aim at. Constantly in your mind, you need to really understand that. You don't think about it when you're playing the bow, but you need to constantly think about that. If you ever like dash, you're like, damn, where the hell is he going? You probably wasn't really in your mind thinking about where your left hand or whatever hand you move your left analog stick when you're dashing was going, but you need to really visually see and understand where you're dashing at, so you can make better decisions overall when making movements. And you need control. So if you can only like go left with the bow, you can only dodge to the left, and like that's your only good side, you need to go in training mode and learn how to dodge right, left, up, down. You have to be able to dodge any way. You need to be comfortable with dodging either left or to the right. Don't get comfortable with one side and like, you know, because monsters don't give a damn. You already know what game you're playing. They're going to adjust to you just like you have to adjust to them. So wherever you at, you need to be comfortable dodging anything. If you need to dodge up, or you need to dodge back, or you need to dodge to the left or the right, visually you're not going to know if you don't know the monster's moveset, which is why you should study the monster. But you need to be comfortable moving either left, right, whichever way you need to. Do not just stick to one thing with the bow overall, is what I'm trying to say, especially with movement. That's why you have a bow, because you can dash around and do whatever you want. That's why I like it. You have freedom, but learn how to use that freedom and utilize it. Don't stick to one thing. Don't be too aggressive that you miss your shots. I do this too all the time. Like I be trying to do damage so much, and I dash. Specifically, I do the spread shot, right? I dash up and do the spread shot. And if it's like a monster that has very thin or doesn't have really a big head or a hitbox area you can concentrate, you're gonna slide right off. And you're gonna miss, and you're gonna aim. If you don't have really good aim, the system in this game really not that good anyway, so you're gonna slide right off. So other than just, you know, being too aggressive and sliding right off, just be the same amount of aggressive, or, you know, have that same aggression but just dance around the monster. I would go into practice mode and learn how to dance and dash around this pillar without messing up, going a full 360. If you know how to learn how to move, you will master every monster. So please calm it down and dance around them, and you can still do the spread shot and dance around them, but just don't go forward. You're going to end up missing your aim, so be very careful how you're aiming it. All right, so another thing I wanted to tell you is that you can actually cancel your charge. So like if you're in a bad situation and you can't really hit the monster, but you feel like you have to shoot, you don't have to shoot. You can roll out of the animation. You know, just stop aiming, take your hand off the aiming system or the aiming button, and just roll. Just press X on PS4, Xbox, and you can cancel the animation. So, you know, instead of committing and actually thinking that you have to shoot, you don't have to shoot at all. So if you're unsure about where you at in the positioning, you need to reposition. That's a quick way to reposition yourself really quick without having to shoot. And you know, sometimes you shoot by accident, trying to just move out the way instead of just actually moving out the way and end up getting killed. Very small detail, but I think it's important in the long run. Another small detail too, like you seen on the last clip like I was doing. So a really good thing to like help gain momentum, and you already got momentum as a bow user. As soon as you pull your bow out, you can just dash. Like, you know, you basically have a lot of agility, but something that just kind of boosts your momentum. The good thing you could do, like while you're moving, you can actually just hold down the aiming button. Say he does this little like giddy up. I don't know how to really describe it, but you see him like every time I pull out the weapon, right? Like he does this little movement. That is like an extra boost that is going to help you. Is that extra movement can help you in a lot of situations. It may seem like it doesn't, but if you're the type of player that loves your momentum and you love the dash and you love everything about the bow, especially the movement, this can help you like I don't know, like upgrade your momentum overall on the battlefield. It just will have you just feeling more confident doing certain stuff, and it'll just give you that extra confidence and that extra boost you need. So you have to switch the combo up. I'm so serious when I say this, because every monster has unique situations, and every combo you do, it's not going to work on a monster in the same fashion that is going to work on another monster. Like specifically for Arc Tempered, I like to stay on my toes and not really commit that much unless I have a good opportunity. So certain monsters you need to learn when to commit, and some of these combos, especially for the spread shot, and the spread shot is like an ender pretty much. It's a commitful act as the ending act as a combo. So if you know that this monster specifically punish you for being overcommitting a lot, which a lot of monsters do, then switch it up, because a lot of combos for the bow have, you know, a lot of diversity built into them to give you enough room to escape what's finna happen to you, because you know when they're finna retaliate. Kind of like a game of chess. You gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. Don't try to do a spread shot every combo. You know, you got to switch it up. So all right, next thing I wanted to tell you, you can actually do a slinger burst shot with the bow, and it's pretty cool. And the game never tells you how to do this. It's kind of like a secret move, but you just pull the bow out, you aim with it right, press down on the right analog stick like you're finna clutch claw, just do the dragon piercer. So Y plus B or triangle plus circle, and you'll do this slinger burst, this like crazy slinger burst shot, which does a lot of damage. This is for like breaking armor on monsters, specifically like Arc Tempered Velcana, and you know a lot of just monsters with a lot of built-in armor, and you can recover kind of quick from it, but not too quick. So just using caution. You know, you're not as vulnerable as you are if you was to do the regular dragon piercer. So it's a lot better than that. But yeah, this is like another, like, this is like the maximum spread shot in my opinion. This is how you do the maximum damage with it. You know, it's kind of like a slinger burst spread shot. And the cool thing about that move is that you do not need slinger to do it. You can do it without slinger or with slinger. It's obviously going to be stronger if you have slinger and can break the armor off a dragon or whatever you're fighting, or whatever monster you're fighting. But if you don't have slinger, it still do good damage, but not as much if you was to have slinger on it. But a very cool move, and a lot of people don't know about it. Next, I'm going to talk about the aerial spread shot. So I remember my original bow video, I was talking about this, but I didn't go into detail until somebody asked me a question like, how do you aim it? And one of my people in my Discord said you have to be in a certain angle, which you do to hit the monster, but to aim it, you don't have to be at a certain angle. Aiming it is the same as you was aiming it if you're on the ground, but you're just in the messed up position. So your brain wants to, you know, sometimes your brain is kind of like, what the hell is going on? But it's kind of the same concept. You're still going to aim with the right analog stick. So once once you're done, or like once you're up top and you're getting ready to aim, you need to turn the camera around if it's not already turned around, and just aim like you would normally do with the right analog stick. So it's pretty much, you can aim the exact same. Look how far I'm pretty far away from that cone. I'm still hitting it. I'm hitting barrels. Like, you can work on this. This is something that you can definitely master in practice mode. Another thing too, go to practice mode. Just practice the moves. Like, you know, it's cool to practice on the monsters, but this is like fundamentally how you're just going to get comfortable learning the weapon. Like, it really is. Another thing I would say too is when you go to options and then you go to camera settings, right, please play with these settings to find out what is right for you. I mentioned this in my bow video. I ain't going into too much detail too, but this is very important. Like, the scope is very important to find out sensitivity you should play on. And as far as the camera speed, you need to find out what works for you. Everybody's not the same. Like, what works for me probably isn't going to work for you. So you got to take that into account and find out, you know, what is the best play style to use. Very important for the bow users, because this is a lot of the reason, you know, we can even do what we do. Is aiming is a big part of it, and camera speed is a big part of it too. So just go in here and just practice it. Whether you gotta go into practice mode and just find out what works for you. You can just find out by fighting a monster, or you can just find out in practice mode. I would just recommend to use a monster, because in that way you're going to be playing how you actually play in a real battle and find out what works for you and whatnot. But this is very important. Don't try to copy anybody's, especially mine, because most people can't play on fast, but this is works for me. Just find out what works for you. Another way I would gradually work on this is if, like, so you should just play with the settings, and I would do this for a monster, right? Still the same concept. So go in there and start from the slowest on each setting and go to the fastest, and just ask yourself, can I play, like, can I seriously play at this? You know, so just start from the bottom and work your way up. That's exactly how I did it, because at first I thought slow was me, but I'm like, this is too slow. Like I need room to move. Like I will literally try to break my controller because I can't move. So, but some people like slow and steady. I don't like it. I like it fast. You know, fast, super fast is just crackhead speed. I don't know anybody in the world who play on that setting, but you know, probably is somebody who does. You know, you never know. But just find your play style, and both of them might be different speeds. That's what you don't have to, they both don't have to be the same speed. You might want your camera to go super fast around, and then you might want your scope to act slow. You know, you never know what combination may work for you, and this may change your whole entire gameplay. That's why I'm spending so much time talking about it, because people really sleeping on this. And like I said before, don't copy anybody else's. Please find your thing, because you're unique. Everybody's unique and everybody plays different. So find your niche, what works for you, and this will make your aiming better. This will make your gameplay better, because you'll be comfortable. And if you like normal, then just keep it normal, you know, because sometimes you should, you know, some people do believe that they should change it. Sometimes you should just keep it normal, but you never know until you try it. But yeah, definitely recommend doing this. Now I want to ask the famous questions, because people seem to think that if they have the best armor in the game, they're just going to play the best, which isn't true. I'm a firm believer in that the player makes the armor doesn't make the player. So you can have the best armor in the game and you can still suck. So I don't understand why certain people don't understand. You have to work on your fundamentals any game. That's why I'm teaching you all of these little things, because it'll work on your overall gameplay. But just for the people who don't understand why, because I keep getting this question, why are you doing more damage than I am doing damage? I'm gonna break down literally every possible reason, but I still want to say, even if you're doing damage, you can still suck at the game. So I would just learn fundamentals before anything else. You're trying to get all this OP armor, because once you get the armor, then you're already going to be good. You feel me? But let's just break down why you're not doing damage, sir. My reasons why you're not doing damage. All right, first things first, Fatalis armor is OP in this game. It gives you 100 plus on your health and your stamina. So you ever seen me in my streams, or anybody who has a ridiculous amount of health and like stamina that is more than you, they don't have to put any other jewels on besides having the armor, the Fatalis armor, if you have 4 pieces. But it's really helpful for bow users, so you should grind for Fatalis armor. And the extra stamina boost, we definitely need it. The next reason you're not doing damage is because you have the wrong elemental on for whatever monster you're having. So one dude messaged me in Discord, I will not say his name, but I will say this because probably a lot of people do this too. It's a small mistake. You got to understand that if you have thunder and you're trying to fight Zenogre with a thunder bow, it's not going to work out. You have to pick, unless it's Stygen Zenogre, but like, unless you have the element is weak to, then you're not going to be doing damage. So another big reason you gotta check, and you can go in the hunter's notes and the start menu and check the whatever the monster is weak to, or you can also Google it, whichever one you want to Google it, or go to your hunter's notes. But it tells you all the elementals. You know, raw overall is good for every monster. So the Fatalis bow, you can fight with every monster. You're not going to do a lot of damage, but you'll be doing more damage than if you was to play play with something that is not really weak to. Yeah, just make sure that you have the right weapon when you're fighting a certain monster, and you can always check in the hunter notes. All right, next reason you're not doing damage is because you do not have agitator. Agitator is very important for damage because it gives you an extra boost on your attack and your infinity, as you can read on the screen right now. But it's very important. A lot of people sacrifice agitator because they're either new to the game, you know, you haven't grinded enough to even get like the agitator charm. Some things you're gonna have to sacrifice until you have the opportunity to put it on your class or your set. But you got to understand that agitator is very important. So you're missing out on a lot of damage if you don't have agitator, because majority of the fight, the monsters are angry anyway, and you know, if they're not angry, somebody's probably going to make them angry, but that is a lot of your damage, where a lot of your damage is coming from. So just think of it like, as soon as they get mad, all your stats just pretty much just double up. Just think about it like that. And yeah, that's another reason why you may not be doing damage, because you don't have agitator on. All right, boom. So next reason you're not doing damage is because you don't have spread shot and you don't have normal shot. Both of these are crucial for bow users. Normal shot is like the charge shot you see. So the regular arrows, the spread shot is when you do the literal spread shot or the power shot. Both of those jewels increase both of those actions that you're doing, and that's really all the actions you have as a bow user. So having these, both level 1 is okay, and having one level 2 and the other one level 1 is okay, but not having either one of these is an actual problem. So very big deal though. A lot of people don't understand that too. So that's a very big part of playing bow. All right, next reason you're not doing damage is because your weakness exploit isn't level 3, and this is very important, specifically for tenderizing. So I get into that in my other videos, but I'm gonna get into it again. You need to be tenderizing as a bow user just so you can be doing more damage, because when you tenderize, whatever spots you do, they'll become more weak. And you can land more critical shots and do more damage overall on those spots that you tenderize. So make sure you're tenderizing. I'll put a clip in here and make sure you understand what that is. All right, next is critical boost, and you need to make sure this is level 3 too. And I talk about this in my other videos as well. This is just like the yellow indicators that you get, and they'll just be higher numbers if you have this level 3, and especially if you have the monster tenderized, you'll see more damage overall. Coalescence is a lot of skill that people can't really get, because this is like kind of an in-game build thing. But coalescence is good because once you recover from blight damage, and blight damage is fire, lightning, you know, anything that has a status effect on you, whether it be elemental or like poison or anything, and you recover from it, you'll get an extra boost in your gameplay. Some people use this as an advantage in their gameplay to do more damage, specifically like speedrunners and like people are in game, but that's a lot of a really big booster in itself is coalescence. The critical eyes are another reason why you may not be doing that much damage if your affinity is not maxed out. And your affinity doesn't have to be like maxed out to level 7 to like do, you know, crazy damage, but it helps to be level 7. You can still do okay damage with level 5. On my Frostcraft builds, I have level 5 and I still do okay damage just because it's Frostcraft and it's OP, you know, probably specifically. But you know, critical eye is definitely another reason why you may not be doing damage. Another reason why you may not be doing damage, and I see this in a lot of people's classes, that you're sacrificing your damage for comfortability, and that's nothing wrong with that, because the bow is very dangerous to play with, right? I understand why you would sacrifice some of your jewels to have more health on certain classes, especially if you don't have the 4-piece Fatalis set, which gives you the 100 boost on your HP and stamina, and that's completely fine, nothing wrong with that. But don't complain that you're not doing damage and you're not willing to sacrifice the Vitality jewels, the recovery jewels, you got the medicine jewels. You got to throw them jewels away unless you're like really at the end game and can build comfort sets. There are comfort sets out there, but if you're complaining that you're not doing damage, then you need to look at your class, and there's like a checklist that I really just gave you. I just gave you a good checklist to see what is hindering you, what might be hindering you. Most of it becomes an element issue with your bow. Specifically, a lot of people just don't have it augmented or leveled up high enough, but a lot of it comes from your initial class and what jewels you choose. So unless you're at the end game build, you can't really have the best of both worlds. So you got to pick one. So that's why Safi is kind of weird to me, because you're losing health as you shoot the monster. So I would not recommend Safi for new players, and a lot of new players just love Safi for some reason. But I wouldn't recommend Safi to no new players, because you're losing health unless you want to get better. But yeah, but a lot of the reason you're not doing damage, you got to look at them jewels and really decide and deduct which one is hindering your damage and which one is giving you comfortability over the damage. And then you have to make a decision based on, what do you want? So that's all I gotta say about that. All right, next reason you're not doing damage: you do not have your weapon fully augmented. Every situation I'm talking about in this video, somebody has brought up to me in asking me on Discord or something. But you got to understand that you can upgrade your weapon, especially Kajar bows and Saraf bows. A lot of people, even one of my people on my stream one time was like, why he was asking me why is my element more than him, and we was trying to decide like what's going on. So I looked at his class, and then we found out ultimately that he didn't augment his weapon. And you can actually, before you augment your Kajar bows, I think you can upgrade them, and it changes the form of the Kajar bows. So if you're having a Kajar bow and you're like, why, you need to upgrade it all the way and then augment it. So you should check to upgrade your equipment. So see if you can upgrade it in any way. If you can't, then augment it to the fully, I will augment elemental all the way, because the bow is an elemental weapon and you do the most elemental damage in this game. So I would do, unless it's Fatalis bow, then I will go for something else. But like, you have to realize that augmentation is probably I would say this is the number one thing that stops people from doing the most damage they can, because this upgrades your elemental. And a lot of these materials that you need to upgrade or augment your weapons are in the guiding lands, and it is hell going to the guiding lands sometimes. It is really bad. I understand the pain, but everybody got to go through it. It sucks, but you got to grind the guiding lands to get the material from the augmentation. But this is I think this is like the last reason I'm gonna say why you're not doing damage. All right, back to the mechanics. Keen thing that I see a lot of bow users don't use, and especially a lot of people that need to use it. So you can hold your charge, right? So monsters always do moves, and this is why I'm so heavy on learning the monsters moves, right? Because you can hold your charge, right? And after he does a move, you can punish it. And if he just so happens to do something else so you can't punish him, you can still hold the charge and wait till he's done to punish. And this is like one of the best things I love about the bow, that you can hold the charge and you're so agile with the bow that you can just move and do what you need to. You can kind of follow the monster, you can move around like, and even if you dash, the charge is still there. The bow is really amazing, man. I love this so much. I love this weapon so much. It's so fun to play with. I like when you really master this weapon, people just don't understand. Like it's really fun, bro. So incorporate this into your play style, please. Like hold the charge and wait a lot more. You don't have to release it, just off of that simple fact. And if you want to let it go, just roll out the way like I told you earlier. So you really got to understand where your hand placement is when you using a bow. I don't know how y'all play. I switch my style up a lot when I play the bow, because sometimes my hands get tired, so I have like certain styles. You got to be very mindful of how you play it. I know you want to do the full charge shot, but you got to leave room open for you to be able to move your hands once you're done with that move. So you have to already be thinking about your next move. So your hand placement is very important on your controller. You don't really think about these type of things, but this is really what makes like a really good bow player. It's really all about momentum. So it's about you keeping the flow, even with your hand placement. The game just shows you how you're playing, but your hands, you really need to pay attention to like when your hand is moving, how your hand is moving after the next attack. So if you put too much force on one attack and like your hands are stuck in place, like you have to mentally break this habit, because I had this habit for a long time too, but you got to keep moving, because I know there's a certain time delay before you get out the animation or the spread shot in certain animations. But sometimes you get caught just by the fact of you not moving your hands fast enough. Sometimes it's really your hand placement, because sometimes you do get killed by the monsters. We would like to think that every time we die it's the monster's fault, but legitimately sometimes it's really your fault, because the brain is not reacting as fast as it should already. Sometimes we mentally check out, and like sometimes we really don't react to certain stuff. Like I've tested this out, and holding yourself accountable helps with this. But like how deers act when they see see headlights in the street and they just freeze. Sometimes we do that as human beings. Like it's a real thing. People do that. People do that on the game too. Like I do that still sometimes, you know, it just happens. But you really gotta start paying attention to your hand to eye coordination. On top of that, you can have fast reactions and good reaction. But yeah, I will really understand where your hands are in a good placement, because sometimes you think you're moving your hands fast enough, but in reality you're really not. So try to be conscious about you know, how are you playing, because we like to think we're playing perfect until you look back at the footage and be like, oh, okay. And another thing too, if you can, I would recommend that you look at your own footage. That way you can backtrack and look at the mistakes you're making. I usually do this myself and look at my footage to see where I can get better at and compare it to like somebody who's better than me. So looking at your own footage could help a lot as well too. All right, this is for my new people, kind of new, but everybody does this, but especially new people. This, so like when a beginner plays this game, they usually pick up the boat and they drop it because it's decoration heavy. So I don't blame them, and it's kind of rough. It's rough at the end. It's rough anywhere in game because you die a lot. If you pay attention to the damage numbers and that's all you're caring about, you're never fundamentally going to get better at the game. A lot of mistakes people make is that, you know, they look at the numbers, they're like, yo, I'm not doing damage, so they think, well, yeah, the solution is to do more damage. No, it's not. If you are fundamentally not sound in how you play, your reaction is not good, you don't know the monster's movement, but you don't have good eye and hand coordination, you don't know where your hand placement is, and you feel like if you see more damage you're going to be better, probably 75% of the time, 85% of the time, that's going to be wrong. It will make you play better sometimes if you see bigger numbers, but it's still, you're still going to have to work to get better at the game. So why not just work on it, you know, while you don't really see that big number. So when you actually do see big numbers, then you actually see the improvement. If you understand what I'm saying, this is a subconscious thing. Everybody does this. So like if you don't see, I know a lot of people do this, so if you don't see big numbers or somebody doesn't see big numbers, they equate that to, I'm not good at the game, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Just because you see big numbers on the screen is not going to mean, it just doesn't mean that you're like godlike at the game or going to be decent at the game. All it means that you're doing a lot of damage. That's all it means. And doing a lot of damage may make your ego feel better about performance, so you might subconsciously start to do better because you're doing more damage, but you already want to drill into your brain to already play a certain way. So when you do see the big numbers, and if that still happens, you already are playing godlike, so it's just going to add on to how you already playing. If you understand what I just said and follow me through to the end, you are most definitely going to get better. If you understand what I just said and you're like, I really understand what you just said, you are going to get better. A lot of people don't understand this. This is a subconscious thing, and it's not even with just the bow. Like if people don't see big numbers right away, they just, okay, yeah, I'll suck. You don't suck. And that I see personally when I play with people, I see their strengths. So you have to understand that you're not going to have everything, not going to come in one package. You're going to gradually get better. So don't feel that you just are awful at the game. You only have one thing. You can always pick stuff up. So that's why I think this game is amazing, because it just blends all things in together. Damage, skill, you know, your armor, what do you pick to choose? It gives you so much more freedom and creativity. I really enjoy Monster Hunter World. This is like an amazing game. But yeah, really understand that you need to mentally, subconsciously understand what I just said down to a T. You can still be okay at the game. You really have to understand the basis of doing a lot of damage, and you suck at the game and you don't know the opportunities to get in, and then you don't have that much good of an armor, but you're still making better plays than a person that has better armor, better everything. So understand that it's separate, and all the armor does is enhance the player. It's all it does. Sorry. So another thing that you need to know about as a bow player, you need to learn about this jewel they embrace, or flinch free. This jewel allows you just to get in close to your teammates without them flinching you, so you can overall just do more damage. And I think this is very important to mention, because you know, a lot of times I was scared for a long time just to go in, and I'm missing out on thousands of damage just because I don't want to get hit by my own teammates. But if you get this and you only have level 1, which is the only thing you need, you still get hit like by heavy attacks, but it's like very unlikely. But most of the small attacks you can just get in with your teammates and really get more damage and not have to be scared about you know, worrying about your teammates. And I think this is a very important, especially if you're playing on multiplayer with other people. I just want to go over some last few things and last few tips, because I'm finna wrap this video up. So it's okay to die as a bow user. As you know, we take more damage as bow users because we're ranged players and we just take more damage. So it's okay to die. You know, I gotta say this every video because it's real, man. It's like, especially in my Discord, like you feel it, you die, you just feel like, oh man, I'm so bad, but you're not bad. that, it's just it takes a lot of adjusting to. A lot of people don't see a lot of people playing a bow. You gotta have balls and actual guts to play this weapon because you're very vulnerable. Met people in my stream since I have been, you know, making bow content, and I've seen their progression just over a small period of time, like a couple of weeks, and already they're getting better. And you know, they coming to my streams and the Discord, we helping each other, so we all here to help each other. So you just got to remember, everybody's struggling. You know, it may look pretty now for me, but I was struggling for a long time as well, and I wish I was looking for videos like this, but it wasn't quite videos that was like talking to people like how I talk to them in my videos. And so that's why I make these certain videos, to try to help people. At the end of the day, you just gotta play with the weapon. You gotta play with the weapon. You can't put it down just because you keep dying, because dying is a part of the process. Dying is how you learn. Just like in real life, when you make mistakes, a person with common sense knows that every time you die, it's really just you're just learning how not to die again, or you learning what mistakes not to do. So if you make a mental note of, okay, so I died like this, let me try this. If you're trying new stuff out with the bow, and like, all right, so you know, that's how you're gonna get better, because you're learning from your mistakes. That's how I learned. I was like, you're gonna get tired of dying. Everybody gets tired of dying, and they do either two things, actually three things. They stop playing the game, they drop the weapon and go to something a little bit easier for them, or they sit there and they figure it out. And all I'm trying to do on my channel is help people who are really trying to figure it out. Some people have it figured out, but they just don't want to put the work in. Do not be like that. You have to put the work in, because like, if you genuinely want to get better, you can, because anybody can do anything they want to. It's really all a mental game. This is just with every weapon too, like dual blade, any weapon you want, you can get better with it, but you got to put that time in. It's like anything. I sound like a motivational speaker right now, just because I really want to get through to you. And this don't even got to apply to just a bow. This is just anything in life. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. And there's tools out there to help you. And I'm trying to make this video a tool to help people. I may not put every single detail in here just to make this like an hour long, but I've made 2 videos, probably like 50 minutes a piece, and they give pretty good information. So I feel like you can learn from both of those videos, but truly learn from your mistakes. That's really all I was trying to get at. I went through that long rant. Truly learn from your mistakes. Learn from them. And that's why when I play with my people, or people that come to my stream, they be like, my bad, bro. It's cool, bro. Like, everybody dies. It's all right, as long as you learn from it. Just learn from your deaths. It's okay. Everybody dies. Even speedrunners die. They die more than y'all, probably. Like, you know, just keeping it real. But man, everybody can, you know, do it. Just put the work in and understand what I'm saying to you. Like, receive it. Just don't listen to this and be like, okay, understand what I'm saying. Like, really listen to what I'm saying and apply it to your gameplay, and you'll see results. All right, I'm gonna wrap this video right now. I appreciate everybody looking at this video. Even if you didn't like the video, I just appreciate you clicking on it. Hopefully it helps you. If it didn't, you know, hopefully somebody else can help you. And I want to say thank you for 1,000 subs. A lot of people in my comments have been saying that like I deserve more than 1,000 subs, and I'm just appreciative of y'all just even saying that and just supporting me, honestly. You know, because I came out of nowhere. I was like, you know, I kind of didn't know whether I should make content on the bow, but I was like, I'm glad I did, because I found some cool people. So I really appreciate the 1,000 subs and everybody who's been supporting me so far, and hopefully we just keep growing. I can't wait for Wilds to come out and make content on that game as well. You know, and you already know what weapon I'm going to be playing on there, so don't even ask me. You already know I'm playing the bow, because I play the bow in like literally every monster in the world. But yeah, man, I love y'all so much. I really appreciate the support. It really drives me to keep making this type of content. But yeah, man, I'm gonna keep up the content as much as I can. Thank y'all again. I'm not gonna never stop saying that, because I really am appreciative, and I have to show my gratitude every video. But yeah, man, other than that, I hope y'all have a good day, man, and peace, bro. I'm out.